So if you've purchased something online recently, and I bet you have, you may have noticed the buy now, pay later offers at checkout. During the pandemic, it became a more popular way to pay for large purchases without using a credit card, with nearly 78 million Americans using one in the last year. So here with more on this is Stefanie O'Connell Rodriguez. She's the host of the Money Confidential podcast. And I emphasize large because now you see like the offers on almost anything you buy online. I mean, a $25 sweater you can pay in installments. So let's talk about this. How does this work? How does this buy now, pay later offer work?
Yeah, as you said, you're going to see this pretty much everywhere when you're shopping online. You'll go to your cart and you'll be like, check out, get out your credit card, get ready to put it in. And they'll say, wait a minute, do you want to pay $100 now? Or do you want to start with one $25 payment today and 3 payments over the next 6 weeks to pay off this product in full? And so essentially when you're using buy now, pay later, you're paying off a purchase in installments. And it sounds like a great deal, right? I'm going to get this product today. It's unlike layaway where you had to make the payments in advance and then take home the product. Here you get to take home the product right away, and then you're paying it off over the course of the terms and conditions, right? And so what happens is it kind of tricks our psychology a little bit to say, wait, I might not be able to afford $100 right now, but I can afford $25, right? And so I can afford the payment doesn't mean I can afford the purchase. And that's why this can be a little bit of a slippery slope.
Right, exactly. So are there some products that it makes sense to do this service?
Yeah, so if you're, for example, in a new place and you don't have a bed, for example, a necessity, right? Or if you need a suit for your job, it's a requirement, right? It can really help smoothen out your purchases. And the nice thing about buy now, pay later is unlike a credit card, if you make the payments on time, then you don't have to pay interest. So this is the big selling point of buy now, pay later. And also you can potentially use it if you don't have great credit, or if for some reason you don't have credit. Let's say you're new to the United States, you don't have a credit history. This can really be a great option for you to access financing on things that you may need.
So does it have an impact on your credit? Like when you click on that little icon, do they check your credit before they approve you?
Yeah, so for most of these companies, what they're doing is a soft credit check. So it does not affect your credit. However, if you start missing payments or if you go into default, that history is going to get reported to the credit bureaus. That said, unlike a credit card, the history of on-time payments for most of these services is not reported. So it's not like a credit card that's helping you build credit. Right. So we need to be extremely wary of how we're using these products.
And then, you know, the thing about a credit card is that there are sort of some built-in protections for the consumers. You know, it's easy to return something, or if you don't get what you thought that you were buying, you know, there's sort of recourse. Do you have the same protection when you're purchasing this way?
Thus far, we don't have the same protections with buy now, pay later that we have with credit cards. We also don't have a lot of the regulations. You know, credit cards, when they first came out, you would see a lot of like irresponsible marketing practices.
That's so
and that
true.
has been regulated since. Because this is a new technology, it just hasn't had the time to be regulated. And I'm sure that's going to be put in place. But thus far, you know, everything that we know and come to expect from credit cards, fraud protection, all of that, we just haven't had the time to build the infrastructure and the regulation around buy now, pay later that we have with credit cards. So that's why I say be very wary.
Yeah, it's just so accessible, Stefanie. I think you know what you said at the beginning of our conversation about it tricks you into thinking you can afford something when you really can't. You cannot afford that $500 bikini for your vacation. And that's too much money to spend on a bikini. So don't do it.
Yeah, especially if you're buying 5 of those bikinis. And you're losing track. Well, I owe $25 a month here, 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 and here. That can add up really quickly.
Big time. Stefanie O'Connell Rodriguez, thank you so much.
Thank you.